All right, joined by Bruce Boudreau here in studio. Bruce, Stuart Skinner said it best. You just can't be letting in 4 goals, especially against a team like the Dallas Stars. In the second round, Skinner also struggled in Game 3 against the Canucks. The Oilers lost. They trailed 2-1 in the series. They sat Skinner. They went to Calvin Pickard, and Pickard did okay. Do the Oilers need to bench Skinner again and go back to Pickard again to turn this series around?
I really don't think they'd get the same reaction. I mean, I think they'd get they wouldn't get the same reaction out of Skinner. They wouldn't maybe not get the same reaction out of Pickard, who came in. But
he did his job. When Pickard got called in to do the job, he did his job.
Okay, he did his job, but can he do it twice? There's a reason he's been a backup for his whole life in the NHL. I mean, I think the first time the adrenaline is going more than ever, and you're going to see the absolute best. I've seen the best minor league goalies come in and play a game or two, but when they have to now be the guy, it's a really different story. But I think Skinner, and I don't speak for him, I'm just guessing, would take it a little bit different. Like, oh, here we go again. They don't think I can do it. The first time I was mad and I'm going to show them I can do it. This time it's, come on, guys. Like, I mean, ended up winning the series. We have one game where we allow 4 goals and not 2, and now you're pulling me, and the talk is this. I think I would be a little more upset if I was Skinner this time if they decided to go that route.
All right, so it's Skinner or bust for the Edmonton Oilers. Another big question mark right now facing Chris Knobloch is what to do with Darnell Nurse. He is a -12 in these playoffs. That is dead last in all of the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. He's the second highest paid D-man in these playoffs. What would you do with Darnell Nurse right now going into Game 4?
Well, you know, I don't think they have somebody good enough as a 7th to play in front of him. If this was Game 50, you sit him out. You try to get him going a little bit. But right now, the only thing I think you can do is if you're a little weary about what he's accomplishing on the ice, and every time he's on that there's a chance against, and you could see the frustration in his face when he came off the ice the one time last night and slammed the door. I would just, put him in positions to succeed. Offensive zone face-offs and playing against the third and fourth line of Dallas rather than having them go against the top 2 all the time. So, I mean, until he regains his confidence, because he's a lot better than what he's showing, or we're hoping he's a lot better than what he's showing. But, I mean, I don't think
Do you pull him aside and have a conversation with him as well?
That you do on a daily basis. Like, I mean, if you're the coach, you're going around, and whether it's practice or whether you're just showing video at this time of the year, and you're pulling them aside and you're talking to each one of these guys saying, okay, this is what I need from you. You did this great last night. Let's make sure we keep this going. You've got to have that communication as a coach with everybody, so everybody's on page every day. Like, yourself, maybe, I mean, as we're getting a little older, like, we forget, you need that constant thought about the encouragement, the pat on the back, or and I'll give you a quick example. Mike Green, who I had, was a fabulous defenseman. Scored last defenseman to score 30 goals. Yeah. But I found out early in his career that if I yelled at him and screamed at him, I would get nothing. He would just cower up in a little ball, and he was awful. But so once I found that out, and if he was having a bad game, I'd put my arm around him and say, Mike, I need you a little bit tonight. You're not playing that well, and get it going. And he would. Nobody else heard, so he felt so good about himself. So you've got to find that way if you're Chris to get Darnell going, because I believe there's a lot more to give from that guy. And if you get it, you might be winning the series.
Big psychological element when you're a head coach. That's 2 straight games where the Oilers dominated the first period, only to see the Stars take over and win. Something the Oilers certainly cannot afford to do in a 3rd straight game, or they will be in huge trouble.